grandmother was right. The boogeyman was real.
It's over.
We can't hurt anyone ever again.
No one told you.
Told me what?
Somebody in there?
Michael Myers is alive.
Stop! You had a knife in your stomach.
You and Allison should not have to keep running. Evil dies tonight.
I'm not just gonna sit and watch another innocent person die.
If you track Michael's victims, it's a straight line to Michael's childhood home.
What do we do?
We fight.
Let's hunt him down.
Michael Myers is flesh and blood. But a man couldn't have survived that fire. The more he kills, the more he transcends.
Run! Go now!
He's the essence of evil.
Do it! Do it! You want your mask? Come and get it!
I'm coming for you, Michael.
All right, so joining us in progress, this is the Brothers Blanchard with a quick hot take that we're going to submit to the Blanchard brothers so that they could, do something with it, put it on their podcast with our hot takes on the Halloween Kills trailer that dropped on Friday. We've been talking about it for a few minutes, but I think it just makes sense to record it. So I know I kind of sprung it on you, hit the record button, but I think we're having the conversation. I think it's worth committing this to wax. So the Halloween Kills trailer to the sequel to Halloween 2018 dropped on Friday, and it was this sort of hyper violent mess of a trailer that may or may not have spoiled every kill in the movie. And we've been so many kills in this trailer. I don't really have the words. We've been talking about it kind of in passing. Wait, actually, that's not true. We've had a really good conversation about it, and I don't know how to re-steer us to those points. But the thing that prompted me to want to record it was what I was about to say. Specifically, we're talking about the chaotic nature of the trailer, how it is this sort of hyper-violent Haddonfield versus Michael Myers thing, which I did say in our previous conversation, I'll say again right now, is kind of like they're taking the road not taken from Halloween 2 and from Halloween 4, where they're like, okay, let's get this mob after Michael. Let's go see what it's like on the streets of Haddonfield. Let's not go into the fucking hospital with Laurie again. But we were talking about Anthony Michael Hall. That's why I wanted to record this. Because we were talking about Anthony Michael Hall, how we were kind of looking for him in the trailer, and then he wasn't really there. And I was talking about how he's very, very sparse in the trailer. Very sparse. And in the marketing materials from last year, there was just a quick shot of it. But as you said, 3 weeks?
It was either 2 or 3 weeks out of the 5-week shoot. Like he was there for a bulk of time.
So, and when we recorded our original thoughts about Halloween 2018, back in 2018, when we hadn't even seen the full trailer yet, right? We just had that teaser. The thing you talked about as kind of the beauty of switching timelines was the Tommy Doyle of it all. Like that was your take.
Yes.
Was like, by making Michael not Laurie's brother, it freed you up to make the story about Tommy Doyle and not about Laurie Strode.
Yes. That he was.
So
there's a shot of him stalking the kid in 78.
Exactly. In broad daylight. I mean, he goes after Tommy presumably to get to Laurie. There's no reason for him to logically know to do that in the film. But what struck me about that is the sparse usage of somebody who was there for so much of the screen time. Either Tommy Doyle is a nothing role, and we're just peppering in Anthony Michael Hall to show you that he's there, or he's the linchpin to this thing. And you were right all along. And it is about making Tommy Doyle sort of a focus, right? And I think that's kind of interesting that we're coming back to that possibility.
Yeah.
And it had just occurred to me while we were having our sort of 1 a.m. conversation about this. Because I don't know what to make of this ultimately, right? What are your main thoughts about it? By the way, we're also well into this conversation, and we said we're the Brothers Blanchard, but we didn't introduce ourselves. But who the fuck cares? I think this is just a hot take that we can give to Gavin and Noah, and they can drop it in.
Yeah.
I'm Matthew Blanchard. This is my brother.
Patrick Blanchard.
Sorry, the spontaneous recording. The idea hit me that we should, set this down. We didn't plan any of this.
Well, I have a couple of hot takes. One is, if I hear anybody say to me that the Rob Zombie Halloween 2 trailer is a fucking mess, I need you to shut up now.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, it's all over the place. So it opens with, it picks up right where 2018 left off, which is great. It means Haddonfield and Michael Myers and Laurie Strode and all of that have not hit the pandemic yet. So they don't know what hell's really like. Laurie doesn't know what isolation really is, because she'd been able to actually go and get her day drink on and then come back to her lonely hovel in the woods. So it opens with Laurie, her daughter, and her granddaughter in the back of that truck leaving the flaming house, and then they see fire trucks heading toward it,
which may be my favorite part of the trailer, is them
Absolutely.
yelling, no, let him burn, no.
And when I saw that, I was expecting something very different, right? Like I was expecting, okay, Michael's gonna capitalize on these firemen to escape and get away, and we're into stalking territory again. We're into Michael Myers creeping through Haddonfield, and this mob mentality that we'd been told about was going to be a manhunt for, the typical Michael Myers, who we don't know where he is because he's stealthy. And no, he's stealing cars. He's killing everyone.
It's the trailer gives away a lot, and if we tell you, it gives away even more.
I mean, the thing is, if it doesn't give away a lot with all of these kills, then there's a shit ton of kills in this movie. We're talking splatter movie kills here in this movie.
I mean, that's the title.
Yeah, Halloween kills. Absolutely true. The other thing was that I thought was fun, and I kind of want you to get back to, is your thoughts on John Carpenter's quote about this movie, because I think it's spot
on. John, this escaped like early in 2020, like before the pandemic. He put out just some minor things like this is the penultimate slasher movie.
And I think you're right. I think he was spot on with that. I think this is the second to last slasher movie. Yeah, I don't think he meant quite what people think he meant. I think he was just being John Carpenter. I mean, maybe maybe he knows something we don't. It's possible. But it could be he was just playing with language and using a word that meant second to last for the second part of a trilogy. which had not occurred to me at the time either. I was like, oh, John Carpenter's invested. But now it's like, no, he could just be like, we're making three. This is number two.
Penultimate.
Second to last.
Another thing that we both had a thought on, and if you've listened to us throughout and you've heard our reviews of the Halloween franchise, and you're fans of Halloween 4, there better be a Ted Hollister death in this movie.
It's Ted Hollister. For those of you who have not listened to us and haven't seen Halloween 4, by the way, go watch Halloween 4. It's one of the better sequels in one of the myriad timelines of the Halloween multiverse.
Did you just take my thing of telling people to go watch a movie when we're talking about another movie?
Yeah, no. I told them to go watch a specific movie that we're referring to. I did not mention.
Oh, by the way, go watch The Prowler.
Thank you. But yeah, you should, if you haven't seen Halloween 4, check out Halloween 4. Ted Hollister, Halloween 4, and this was the point I was making earlier about the mob. In Halloween 2, we have this great one scene at the Myers house where the citizens of Haddonfield have kind of found their way to the Myers house after they hear about what Michael has done throughout the first half of the night. And, they're basically a lynch mob. They're looking for Michael. They're surrounding the house. Michael's not there. He's at the hospital killing Lori. And then in Halloween 4, Dr. Loomis incites a mob to go hunt Michael Myers because Michael Myers has killed everyone in the police station.
You haven't got a police force.
That was your best Loomis yet. Congratulations. I'm very proud of that. That was very good.
It's the beard.
It's the beard. The beard helps. But yes. And we do see a bit of that lynch mob going out to go find Michael Myers and accidentally killing poor Ted Hollister, who, for some reason, while everyone is out hunting Michael Myers, is being an idiot and dressing like Michael Myers.
Well,
which also, that's another thing. If oh my God, I lost his name. Bennett Tramer. Bennett Tramer could also die. He was resurrected when the timeline changed to exclude Halloween 2. Ben Tramer could also be unfortunately killed.
I think
it's got to be Ted Hollister for the joke.
And for the joke, yeah. But in the timeline, I don't. It's a fixed point. It is a fixed point. And Ben Tramer dies.
It's not a fixed point. There is no fixed point in time. In a movie that ends with Michael Myers getting shot out a window and immediately picks up with Michael Myers disappearing from that same location, yeah, Ben Tramer dies because that's called Halloween 2. But what we know is another cop showed up and got Michael. He was arrested.
Hashtag Bennett gets it.
Ben Tramer's alive, bro. Ben Tramer survives in the 18 verse.
Fixed point time. Hashtag Bennett bites it.
How did he die?
Doesn't matter.
I'm
curious. He did not make it home on that fateful Halloween night.
Based on what theory?
Fixed point in time, man. He's got to die. He could have been wearing the same costume, and the cop got to him before they got to Michael, which we see in the flashback, and they like jack him up.
So, hours later.
Fixed point in time.
See, now you're pitching an interesting movie where where something happens to all these serial killers where their timelines are altered, but the people that were supposed to die still have to die. It's like Final Destination meets Halloween meets Crisis on Infinite Earths. It's a fascinating concept. It's a little high concept. I don't know if people would watch it. But it's interesting.
I mean, I'm sure people would watch it at Cannes.
Sure. You might get a screening at the NYFF. It's possible. But
But
back to this. Yeah, not Sundance. Sundance wouldn't take that. Sundance would be like, wait a minute, here.
there's no commercial availability here.
Weird time traveling serial killer movie? Oh, no. The serial killer doesn't time travel. Fate does. Wait, what? But back to this ultra violent, weird trailer. So Michael just basically starts running rampage through the streets of Haddonfield, killing everyone.
Yes.
And Laurie Strode is like just somehow getting like needles and just getting an injection of adrenaline for herself. So she's just grabbing shit off the shelf in the hospital. Like, is she Linda fucking Hamilton now? I mean, I don't.
That's who she needs to get through the night, Sarah Connor.
Right? Sarah Connor can do that because we've seen in her prime that she has gone toe to toe with a mindless killing machine that becomes more immortal the more you go after it. Which, what the fuck is that concept? I thought this was supposed to be the grounding of Michael Myers by rooting him back into a more realistic state. And now, the more he kills, the more he becomes the boogeyman.
Well, maybe it's metaphoric. Maybe it's
No. She specifically says that a mortal man wouldn't survive that fire.
I know,
But Michael did. So she thinks it's real. She thinks
that the more he kills, the more he becomes the boogeyman. She's not exactly hinged.
No. I will say this, though. His melting mask is not nearly as melted.
Yeah.
When the firemen save him, which is kind of a shame. That was like the one really cool visual from the ending of 18 was that mask melting onto his face.
Okay, well now, since we talked about the trailer, we have to talk about when we go and see the movie.
Right.
Should I just go in blind? Or
Like, should you rewatch 18 or should you just go in with very little knowledge and just go watch this movie fresh?
Yeah.
I think continuity doesn't matter anymore. I think it's a smorgasbord. You take what you want, man. You want to watch, you don't need to go in and watch Halloween 2018 before you watch this movie. Watch Halloween 5 before you go watch this movie. Just go nuts.
like
Halloween 6, Curse of Michael Myers, followed immediately by Halloween Kills.
Like, let's just make this a smorgasbord of violence. I'll watch 5, Curse, and Rob Zombie 2.
There you go. Then it's a theme, right? It's not really it's not a narrative that has any continuity, but it's all kind of in theme. It's on brand.
I just want a Halloween movie that I can like.
Yeah, and I wanted to like 18, and I did manage to convince myself in the theater that I liked it. It was on repeat viewings that it fell apart to me.
Yeah.
One of the things that you noted when we're talking about Halloween 2018 is that the trailer for Halloween 2018 was so well constructed.
God, yes.
That it's almost better than the movie. And what I said to you then and what I say now to our listeners, that scares the shit out of me, right? Because it's the same editors, it's the same people constructing this trailer as constructed that trailer. So if they were able to work the same kind of magic on a trailer that comparatively to the film that they did in 2018, if this is potentially better than the film itself, this is going to be a bad movie. This is going to be a dog. I'm sorry.
I mean,
it's possible.
But
I'm not saying, and if you're listening, I'm not saying Halloween Kills is going to suck. I'm just saying I don't have a lot of confidence right now.
But the ultimate question is, do you think, and I'm going to phrase it so that it angles for both of us, that Halloween 5 and Halloween Resurrection are gonna change their places in our personal order.
I don't think that's possible. I mean, it's got Jamie Lee Curtis in it. And I maintain that the Jamie Lee Curtis movie, it may push 5 down. Like there may now be 2 Jamie Lee Curtis movies at the bottom of my stack before number 5. It's possible. But that's all that. I don't think it's going to make those 2 both go up unless it's real bad. Like you got to be Halloween 5 bad. And I don't think this can be that bad.
But the trailer says it can be.
The trailer makes me think, well, we're really looking at it here as like a Texas Chainsaw Massacre movie.
And not like Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
No, not like a good one. Like
number 2.
Yeah, like the Next Generation.
I haven't seen
one of
Next
those.
Generation. I can't comment on it.
You haven't seen Wooderson in a Texas Chainsaw movie? I did not call him by his real name because in this movie, he doesn't deserve it. His performance is a Wooderson performance. It's not a. Yeah.
No, I have not seen the Wooderson Zellweger movie. There are two. There are 2 that I have not seen. It's
not good, but Leatherface cuts a swath through the through the city, and it's not nearly as broadly violent as this one is. But holy crap! Yeah, I'm not sure. It's like it feels like no. I know exactly what this feeling is.
Okay.
I've had this feeling of hyper violence overwhelming me to the point where I'm like, I don't know why I'm sitting here watching this. And you were with me. It was Rambo Last Blood. This felt like Rambo Last Blood to me.
I did not have a dissimilar experience.
I mean, it looks cool. Those kills look good, but they look unnecessary. They don't look like they're necessarily germane to the plot. Like, why is he going and killing an old lady and her husband? Okay, why? Sure, whatever. It just feels exploitative in its trailer format. That doesn't mean it will be in the film.
Yeah.
I will give them the benefit of the doubt that maybe they're holding something back. And I'd like to think that whatever they're holding back has to do with Tommy Doyle. Like, I feel like you don't waste Anthony Michael Hall on a role like Tommy Doyle unless you're going to do something with it.
I mean, that dude's got charisma.
Dude has charisma. He doesn't capitalize on it like he used to, but yes, he does. I guess what I'm saying is if he's just a cameo, if he's just there to be kind of in the background doing a little bit of stuff here and there, you might as well have just gone for the cameo and cast the original actor, right? But obviously, he's not like a massive starring role that you would want to go for the other Tommy Doyle. So that's a needle you got to thread here.
But they tried.
They did try. They did try to get Paul Rudd. So maybe he is. Maybe he is sort of the linchpin to all this. And maybe that's what they're not showing us, is that maybe Tommy's reaction to the trauma of Halloween is different than the trauma of Laurie's reaction to Halloween. Or maybe it's exactly the same. And the one thing we see is that he asks Laurie, what do we do?
I mean, she's a babysitter.
All right. Yeah, but come the fuck on now. I mean,
I know. But she's
at
also
this point in time, it's 40 years later.
I know, but she's also the crazy old prepper who lives down the lane.
True. It would be very interesting, though, if Laurie were Tommy Doyle and Tommy Doyle were not Tommy Doyle, if that makes sense. And if it doesn't make sense, I'll explain it. I think it would be interesting if we go into this film and the dynamic is that Tommy Doyle is a well-adjusted person, like Carrie Tate
Right.
in Halloween H2O, who has the trauma and is living with it as best they can and dealing with it as best they can. And Laurie Strode is the Tommy Doyle of Halloween 6, who's just broken by the experience and absolutely pushed and stretched to the limit. It would be interesting if those roles reversed in that way. We already know that Laurie is kind of in that same headspace that the Paul Rudd Tommy Doyle was. It would be interesting if the Anthony Michael Hall Tommy Doyle were more in that Jamie Lee Curtis headspace from Halloween H2O. I think that'd be an interesting contrast. I don't think they thought about that kind of thing. I think we're just going to get a big shoot 'em up, let's go kill Michael Myers movie.
I don't know. I hope it works.
Sure.
On different levels, like they tried to do with Hate Teen.
Yeah.
That they decidedly have had a bunch of time to work on this movie.
Mm-hmm. Oh yes. Yes.
If I do remember, there was a screening right as the pandemic was starting to break in 2020, like the week of maybe, like right around.
Didn't they work in some limited reshoots because of that screening?
I don't know. I
vaguely remember hearing that they did, but I don't know for sure.
Because I don't know, like if they like, I don't know when they would have, based on when the with all the guidelines and everything that they have to do, which were different state to state.
Exactly.
Like Carolina's shooting guidelines were different from Ontario's, which are different from LA, which is
and
different.
They didn't shoot in South Carolina this time, right?
No,
they
shot
shot
North
in
Carolina, Wilmington.
Yeah. And that's so they weren't. So Haddonfield is now a different Haddonfield once again than it was in Halloween 2018. And that's an interesting thing. So now Haddonfield has been, okay. So it has been California.
Yes.
It has been Salt Lake City, Utah.
Yes.
It has been Georgia.
Yep.
It has been California again. It's California twice because Rob shot in the same South Pasadena streets that John Carpenter shot. That's why, it was kind of twice. Georgia was Halloween 2. It has been South Carolina, and now it is North Carolina.
But you left one out. It's been Toronto.
Yes, that's right. Halloween Resurrection shot in Toronto. Correct. I was thinking like, wait a minute, no, there's all three of those ones were shot in Salt Lake City. I was completely forgetting Resurrection.
This is why you need to change your list and put Resurrection below 5, because you remembered 5, but you forgot Resurrection.
Immemorable is better than no, I'm sorry, no. I'm not changing it. I remember 5 because I can't forget that horror. I can happily overlook the existence of Resurrection, which is why it's higher on the list. But I think that's a good sort of unique thing to end on, the many faces of Haddonfield. Before we turn this back over to the Brothers Blanchard, any final thoughts on this trailer that you want to share?
I probably should watch it again so I could, get a more feel for it. But I don't. I watched the Hate Teen trailer too much.
Yeah,
and I don't want to veer into that territory. So I may watch it again closer to the movie. But I am putting this to bed till at least September. That's my final take on it. Watch it, sleep on it, wake me up when September comes.
That's fair. At this point, I do not I don't know that I'm sold on the existence of this movie, which has been where I have been at the end of almost every conversation we've had about this sequel trilogy. Right? Almost every single time we talk about it in a future tense of like, okay, this movie's about to come out. What do you feel? I'm like, I don't know if it's necessary. I don't know if I care. We were talking earlier about like the choose your own adventure timeline of Halloween.
Yeah.
I think I'm deciding that my choose your own adventure begins and ends with John Carpenter's Halloween 1978. As much as I enjoy some of those other movies, it just gets so convoluted. And having to, to explain to your partner which version of Halloween you're watching, when they're like, wait a minute, I thought she died. Yeah, she's back. It's a new timeline. Wait, we're watching The Flash? No, we're watching Halloween. I don't know. I'm not sold. I think I'm going to watch it again now to kind of, reassess and see if maybe my thinking changes. I don't think it will. And then I'm going to wait till it comes out. And I think I might go in blind. I think that's not a bad idea. I don't know that I need to rewatch Hate Teen to have a continuity through line. I think I just go in blind. I know what happened in the movie. Start fresh.
Yeah.
And watch Rambo Last Halloween.
Oh, but I can't do that. Like I don't even have horrible cutesy names for the ones that I hate.
So we're not going to call it Rambo Last Halloween.
No, this is Hollow Kills.
Hollow Kills. Okay.
Because it's Hate Teen or Hollow Green, depending on how you want to butter your bread.
See, I just think nothing is as good as Hate Teen.
I know, but Hollow Green sets up the Hollow Green, Hollow Kills, Hollow Ends.
Okay. Couldn't it just be Hollow Green Kills, Hollow Green Ends?
Well, but then that's more syllables.
Okay.
I'm trying to break this down and keep it witty and pithy, and I don't have my message board to do this on anymore. Like that shit killed on the message board, man.
Oh, I'm sure a message board crowd will be eating out of your hand with humor of that variety. And on that note, we're going to throw it back to the Brothers Blanchard. We have been the Blanchard brothers. I have been Matthew Blanchard.
I have been Patrick Blanchard.
We are the Blanchard brothers. We are the Brothers Blanchard. Oh my God, I got our name wrong. And we're the guys who pay the late fee so that you don't have to. And we've been talking about the Halloween Kills trailer that dropped last Friday. Take it away, Gavin and Noah.
Hollow Kills.